Okay, let's get into it. The doggies. Jeez. What a tough year to review for the doggies, because they have come so far as a club, so far. And I tend to focus more on that than the performances that they've put on in these last two games. And I will say, look at the Sharkies and how they've developed each year. And I think that, you know, they'd shown so much in the year that maybe we all got a bit ahead of ourselves. And sometimes it just takes, you know, for example, the Penrith Panthers are really the only team that went from outside of the 8 to unbeatable. Very rarely does that happen. And so, although it's really disappointing for the doggies, and although you could like pinpoint certain things and say this was the right call, this was the wrong call, they've still come so far. I will say that whether you agree or disagree with the Marnie, the Sexton, all the stuff that happened, the Galvin in the halves, the question we all had midway through the year, at the start of the year, was, do they have the roster to take that next step in finals footy? And I think that they've proven at this stage they do not.
And that's the thing, right? Like, just, again, don't be too doomsday about the way their season's finished up, because at the end of the day, when you look at that roster, you go, is that going to win a premiership? Yeah, well, probably not, especially with so many new combinations and players coming together. And you talk about them not getting up for finals football. They got up against the Melbourne Storm last week, and they put in a fantastic performance away from home against a side littered with superstars.
And the premiership favourites at that stage.
Yeah, with big game experience. So they got up for that. They didn't get the points, but they came bloody close to it. And then we were literally just coming off the back of that conversation about Penrith being the best team ever and potentially Ivan being the best coach ever, who put in a near-perfect performance. Like, yes, it was disappointing to go out in straight sets, but again, this side is building for a premiership in a couple of years' time, and they can take a hell of a lot from this season.
Yeah. It's crazy, like, when you have a look at their last few years. Like, if you go back to 2023, they finished 15th.
Yeah.
Next year they finished 6th, and this year they finished 3rd.
Yeah, it's crazy improvement. Crazy.
And like it's insane. It shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, it very rarely does happen. And also, like, you know, people want to... And look, I've been critical of some of the decisions Serralo's makes. So I'm not sitting here saying, like, he's perfect. But he's squeezing every drop of potential out of these guys. Like, Curran had 10 on his back on the weekend. Curran's an edge back rower, maybe a 13. And don't get me wrong, Curran has the heart of a front rower. He rips and tears. He does his best. But like guys like Max King, like he bounced around clubs, and these guys, he is squeezing every bit of talent he possibly can. What's it going to be like when he does build that, 5 or 6 Origin players, and very similar to what the Penrith Panthers did, where they built the squad up from the ground up. And so I just think that, yes, it is super disappointing, but whether you landed on agreeing with Galvin and Marnie, or whether you landed on agreeing with, they don't have the stars to go to the next level, I think they kind of shown that they don't have the stars. They play really good in-season footy. The only other question I have that kind of, I guess, muddies the water a little bit is they did fade a little bit last year. And I wonder, with their style of footy, with their current roster, because it is so fitness-based, it's so high energy, are they fatiguing as well as they don't have necessarily the roster yet to take that next step?
It's a good question. I don't know the answer to it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a mixture of both. Like, it is such a high-energy footy team. Like, they can't afford to be a slower footy team because they don't have the players to do that. And so I wonder whether it's a mixture of both. Like, yeah, they need to bring players in. I guess I will talk about some individual performances, but the Lachlan Galvin situation, he did play well in attack in the second half, but it seemed like he played better when he was playing Galvin footy, not the structured stuff. And so I just wonder, and look, he's going to have a full pre-season on his belt, so he's going to get better at it, but it is going to be interesting, like, him trying to fit into that Bulldogs system of footy. Because when they started playing fuck it footy, that's when he started playing relatively good footy. He started error here or there, but he put some points on or whatever. But when he tries to play structured footy, it just doesn't seem to click for him. Now, granted, he hasn't had a preseason, so that'll come in leaps and bounds over the preseason. But there is that question.
But even like with the preseason coming, which is going to be my next question for all of you, that preseason, do you spend it with Galvin at halfback, or does Mitch Woods play in Vegas? Like, we're talking about, and I say the same thing. Preseason would be great for him. Do you spend that preseason with him playing his better position at 5'8", or do you have him fucking around at halfback still and trying to make that work? And then when Woods comes in, it'll change completely anyway.
I reckon rip the Band-Aid off.
I'm starting to lean towards that as well. Woods, he's 21, is he, Timber?
So he's not that young, you know.
He's 19.
Oh, shit.
19.
Okay.
So he'll be 20 next year, though.
20
Not
next year.
yeah, he's 20 in May.
I reckon just rip the Band-Aid off because he's not a 7, Galvin. He is absolutely not a 7. And look, I know I was calling for Sexton to come in and Marnie come in. They didn't do much better themselves. Granted, they have no combination with Galvin because he's barely played any. Marnie's been out for 6 weeks playing. But that didn't work either. So.
And you look at Galvin in that game, and again, the masses of critics he's got out there for whatever reason you want to choose to have around how it's all unveiled and played out this year. That game against his unbelievable Penrith outfit, him and Jacob Preston were the only ones who threatened all game. And he didn't just do it once or twice. He directly set up 2 tries. He had a major hand in the third one, and then he scored one himself, one where he was the one who created the line break for Preston as well. I know there was an ordinary pass went over the sideline. There were a few little defensive lapses, but again, this is a 20-year-old thrown in the deep end, as we sort of agree on, probably out of position playing as the 7. The signs there that a 20-year-old can go and do this to the Penrith Panthers on the big stage, and near perfect Penrith Panthers as well, it's got to excite you in a lot of ways.
Well, it's just, and that's where I'm when they leaned into the chaotic footy, because he does look chaotic at times, Galvin. It's high energy, it's all over the place, but it seemed to really work for him. It clicked for him, and you're right. Players go their whole careers not having good finals game against teams like Penrith and Storm. Now, granted, in the first half he was relatively quiet, and yes, he had some misses in defence or whatever, but to essentially have 3 involvements in tries against the Penrith Panthers, that's not bad. It's not bad.
It's unreal.
So, also, I'd probably say he outplayed Talangi in this game, if you're looking at just numbers matchup. So
I think you look at it and you go, whether it's next year with Woods or the year after, I don't know enough about how quickly he's developing or if he'll be ready for round 1 next year. But if Mitch Woods comes in and he plays as this sort of a bit more structured number 7 and looks after getting them around the park and the 5th tackle options and all of that, you let Galvin play 5'8", you let him roam both sides of the field. I think they can combine perfectly. Now, it might not be next year, but pretty soon.
Is it a waste of development year for Galvin, though, to put him at 7 and I feel like it's
That's what I sort of lean
it's like a
towards.
waste of a whole season.
I think you're going to get to, round 15, 20, whatever, whenever everyone to bring in Mitch Woods, and then you're going to have to do that transition again. Why not just lean into the preseason and do it there?
Burton looks great at centre, to be honest. I like Burton at centre. He's good at 6'2", don't get me wrong. But is he creating as much, try assists and that at 6? I know he can, but a full preseason at 6, put Burton in the centres, Critter either at... I do think, and this is one I probably got wrong because I felt like with Galvin there, maybe that spine is good enough to push. I think Connor Tracy, maybe he was fatigued towards the end of the year, but he either needs to go to a whole new level next year or they need to consider putting Critter potentially back there or someone.
Tom Trbojevic?
Kalen Ponga?
Ponga? Imagine if you had one of those 2 to this team. Oh.
Just on the halves before we move them on, if you don't want to play Mitch Woods to start the season, are you better off playing Burton at halfback? He's slightly older. He's more mature. I get it. Doesn't really suit him. But doesn't suit Galvin either. Galvin's played game 38 or something on the weekend. He's still finding his way in first grade. Burton, experienced leader. He's played in grand finals, won a comp. I just find it bizarre how much pressure we're heaping on Galvin.
When the guys are in. Yeah, look, me personally, I just rip the Band-Aid off. Depending on what Mitch Wood's mentality's like, if he's quite a strong mind, because he was 18th man this year. So it's not like he's that far away from first grade. And I just think that if the plan is, and they've been saying this from the get-go, the plan is long-term dynasty. That's what they want. So the more games you can get with them playing together in NRL, the better. We look at the Trindle-Hines situation, they're really starting to click after 50 games. It's taken them 50 games. And I just wonder, are you wasting a year with Galvin at 7? Because he's just not a 7. He's just not, in my opinion. He's a good, really good 6. And also, it's other little things just Hayward, you need him to build connections with his 6 and 7, and you need the fullback to build connections in the centres. So I think, obviously, you see how they go in the preseason. If you're looking he's a bit too young, it's probably, you don't want to ruin him long term. Obviously, you don't put him in there, but Mate, if he shows promise, I reckon you just rip the Band-Aid off and this is a plan going forward.
Does Vegas matter at all to you? Like as far as debuting him all the way over there and...
Not really. Because who are they playing? The Knights? No.
I think they're the Dragons.
Dragons? Nah, I think he'd be right. Like if he was playing like, I don't know, Penrith or something like that, I'd consider it. But
it is one thing I do like going into next season for Canterbury. As much as I like Sexton and Reid, I think it's for the best they're gone.
Oh, it just confuses things.
Yeah, there's no conversation there. There's no headlines about who's it going to be. You know who the guys are going to be. And I looking through the rest of their squad, they don't really have any other halves there. There's rumours that Sean O'Sullivan's going to land there. If it's SOS or Mitch Woods, I just rip the Band-Aid off.
I think, and this is hindsight speaking, because I would have had Marnie in there, I would have had Sexton in there weeks ago. But hindsight, after that game, I'm kind of like, they were up shit creek without a paddle because they haven't played any rugby league together. And then they're just going to click. So I'm not critical of Ciraldo for that because I would have done it myself. But I reckon with hindsight, it's like in such a big game to shake it up again that much, probably... I know they had injuries or whatever, but, you know, surely there's a young centre they can get coming through and put him in the centres. And now, I will say in the post-match press conference, like I get why Ciraldo does it because he's protecting his boys. But it was like basically very high praise of Haywood and Galvin. And as I said, I understand why he does it. It does come off, it's quite obvious what's happening though. Like, you know, this he's made this decision and he's trying to really massage the decision, I guess, with the fans and everything like that. So, but the thing is this, he had a little bit of, not too much of a bite, but a little bit of a bite about all the opinions about the squad. And it's almost as if to say it was unwarranted. And that's where I kind of disagree with Ciraldo, where I'm like, I feel like it's pretty warranted, not because they're crazy decisions, but just because you're at top of the table. Like I really, and you move in like Galvin, that's not a 7 into 7. You're like, these are big decisions at a big club that's improving out of sight. So I actually do think the questions are warranted. Now, some of the hyperbolic stuff and the insulting stuff, obviously that's ridiculous, but I do think the questions are warranted.
Well, I think like around that squad structure for the week and the changing combinations, I think it just comes back to me that they picked the best team that they thought could get them through the preliminary final on the weekend and beat Penrith. And that's fine, but like when Stephen Crichton was ruled out, take away the leadership and the impact of that, but when you lose a centre in your team and as a result of that, you're 5'8" and, you know, a key leader in your team has to move to centre and then, you know, a half comes into the squad and your halfback goes to 5'8". There was a hooker change as well, not as a result of the Crichton thing. But then on top of it, one of the best defensive centres and best defensive edges in the NRL, in Bronson Sherry on the left, he has to swap sides as well. You then have two completely new combinations on both sides of the field that have been defensively both quite sound this year. It's a lot of movement because your centre gets ruled out.
Yeah. And like they do have good outside backs. Like Wilson's a good solid outside back. Surely he could have, I'm assuming anyway. What do you think, mate, of the Bulldogs, Matty?
Yeah. It was tough, wasn't it? Because especially like you look before the game and Belmore's pumping. Yeah. They're all out the front of those, the hotel they stayed in. They walked into the footage was amazing. The
fans deserve massive credit.
For sure. And it's so good that the Bulldogs have put themselves in a position where they're playing finals footy because 2 years ago, obviously they weren't there, but the Bulldogs, the fans, they could be the loudest in the comp. And it's so good. So that's why it was obviously disappointing to see them lose, but to see them, you know, pretty much the game was done at halftime. And that was the bad thing. Apparently, like it just deflated the whole stadium, which was kind of disappointing. And I know they're none from 3 in finals games, and I know there's a lot of questions to be answered, but they would have taken this. They would have taken where they're at now this time 2 years ago. And I know some saying they sabotage their season halfway through. I don't know. They put Sexton in yesterday. I know you talked about it already. They put Marnie in and, you know, nothing really changed. There's a lot more problems than just that. But they're moving in the right direction. I think they, not only that they're moving in the right direction, but they got up there so quickly that it kind of looks like a fail, but I don't think it is.
I mean, again, we always talk about it. Finals footy experience is a different beast. Even the Panthers got outdone by a finals footy experience in that first year. That was just all experience in the big games. Cam Smith had all the experience in the world. Some positives, guys. Jacob Preston. What a knock from that bloke. Like, to get as dominated as they did and Jacob Preston to tear them apart, that very rarely happens. Like, very rarely do you see an individual do that to the Penrith Panthers. I know they still got dominated. Mate, he was absolutely phenomenal. So he had a try assist. He had 13 runs for 160 metres. He had 13 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, 41 tackles, only 2 misses on the edge there. He was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to say, he just picked out Blaze and whatnot, but like that first try set up, he went straight through Scott Sorensen on that play too. So, yeah, such a good story for him over the last few years. We don't, we talk about it every few weeks on this show, but to come from where he's come from and how important he is to the Canterbury Bulldogs, you have certain players over time that just feel like Bulldogs. He's one of them for me.
He was exceptional. The tackle bust stats say it all. 13 runs, 13 tackle busts. He absolutely shredded them. And you talk about big game experience and you look at the Kangaroo squad getting selected at the end of the year for England, you look at the Blues next year, the selectors only need to go, all right, how's he going big games? Penrith Panthers, week 2 finals, elimination game, and he single-handedly essentially tore him to shreds.
And they dominated the Bulldogs. Like, it wasn't like he had all this, good ball or whatever. He was just so good. And who knows? So you look at the Australian score with Preston. So you have Liam Martin on one edge if he's available. Actually, is it Liam Martin that needs a shoulder reconstruction or is it someone else? I think there's someone that is... Oh, no, it's Hughes is not going to be available. Yeah, he needs a shoulder reconstruction. So you got Liam Martin on one edge. Who would be the other edge? Angus Crichton, probably?
Probably Angus Crichton.
Or Huddy.
Oh, yeah, Hudson Young. So he might not scrape into it, but I wouldn't be mad if he scrapes into it. Granted, if I pick my Aussie side, it'd be like 60 people going across.
Yeah. I've got a deep squad.
Yeah, deep as anything.
The way I'm going at the moment.
But look, I wouldn't be mad at it because I just think he's been so solid all year.
Yeah, but I reckon if we were to all name our 25-man squad now, I reckon at least 6 or 7 of them will pull out. The season's just too long.
It's way too long.
Surgeries.
And I know that people say that it shouldn't matter or whatever, but there were reports they're getting paid $13,000.
It's outrageous. So yeah, if they want to take, but if those reports are true, essentially they want to take their families.
They have to pay
to go on the trip.
Paying to go on the trip.
Yeah.
Just because you want to be the season is so long. You're so committed to the sport. This is not like back in the day where you could roll into training from 7 o'clock till 3 o'clock and then you get to go home and chill. These guys get in there at 7 and they leave at night. It's a full-on full-time job, and I get it. Other people do that too, but they don't also work on the weekends as well. Like, if you work 7 till 7 each day and then also you work on the weekends, there isn't much time to spend with family. The season ends, it's been such a long season, then you want us to go away for 4 weeks and we're not going to have our families paid for to go there. Granted, I understand it's a privilege to wear the jersey. I get it, but there's also reality as well. There's also reality. I guess what we'll see with the Sharky. The
13,000 for an entire series is ridiculous.
So what's it for? Essentially 4 weeks.
Yep.
You take tax into it, you're looking at about $7,000. $7,000 that they'll get for that.
It's ridiculous.
Is it for the series, not per game?
I think it's for the series.
Pretty sure they'll walk away with about $7,000. We're talking about the best players in the country of $1 billion game.
And it's not a Mickey Mouse comment. It's the Ashes. It should be the pinnacle.
Bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Okay, anything else, guys, on the Bulldogs?
All good, mate, I think.
Look, as I said, just want to reiterate, still a good year for me for the Doggies. This is all part of the journey. Go look at the Sharkies. Look how far they've come. You can go to a bunch of different sides where they just build and build. Go look at the Eels and look how each year they got better and they got into a grand final. This is a natural progress, especially when you look at the roster. It's not like he walked into this crazy roster and he flicked his fingers and it's good. It's a roster that he's had to build from ground up.
Out of their best 17, is it Reid and Sexton that are leaving? Is that it for next year?
Maybe Fafita as well, for Saluka Fafita maybe.
Yeah, I think Curtis
Moran's gone to the Titans. Yep.
So they add Leo Thompson,
which is a huge get.
Huge.
I think. Yeah. I think a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's at the Knights he's quiet." I just think in that system at the Bulldogs with that training, I think he's going to be unbelievable. Yeah. They've still got some money in the cap to bring another big dog in.
You think so?
Surely. Okay. That is that game done and dusted.
Chamis reporting Turbo heavily weighing up 2-year deal for Warrington.
Fuck that.
Don't.
What are we doing?
Go to another NRL side, bruh. Like, I understand the loyalty, I do, but at the same time, like, they've disrespected you. Like, don't rob Australia of seeing your greatness for another 2 years, you know? I mean, I respect it. Loyalty is dead in today's game. I really do respect it. We always talk about old school traditional values, and he's showing it, but it's like...
Also, the club that you've given everything to, and you're a superstar. I get the price reduction with the injuries, but $750K for Tom Trbojevic, like, to keep, the number one son at your club for $750, just do it.
And the way, but also like
give him his $850.
The way they went about it, though, like,
It's the
that's the key.
made now.
Bro, mate, just stay in the NRL, please.
Go to a club that can win a premiership.
The contract's going to be worth less than the Manly deal, though.
But it's all about principle, though. Like, the Warrington one, because I can't afford it. Well, again, it just shows you what a man of principle Trbojevic is. He's going, it's not about the money for me. And I know he's got paid a lot over the last few years. It's about the fact these guys try to underhandedly, and that's why I just wonder, I know I'm Mr. Conspiracy, tinfoil hat on, but I just wonder whether this was done intentionally to push him out while saying we did offer him something.
If you're Perth, right, and you want to sign Turbo, let's say it's $1 million contract, the one clause is, I don't play against Manly. You do it?
It just depends. Like, I need him playing more than, I need him fit.
For sure, but that's the gamble you're taking.
If I'm Perth, I'm giving Turbo $1 million. Say, mate, if you, the tough one is finals. Like, if you haven't come against me in regular season, good. You'll need a week off anyway. It's Tom Trbojevic, but you get him week one of finals, or whatever. And this is grand finals. Like Tom's up. I told you I'm not playing against Manly.
Imagine that.
Like, if he's fit, like if he's fit and he's going to play most games, like 20 plus, I'd give it to him.
If you're Perth,
mate, you're desperate.
Money to play with, you 100% you give Tom Trbojevic $1 million.
You're so desperate. Like, they are going to struggle to build a roster. Like, they're going to struggle to get 30 people across there, I reckon.
And also, imagine how many people will watch Perth because Tom Trbojevic there. Like, worth every cent.
If you're Canterbury for next season, I won't play Manly though. Do you do it or not?
Yep. Because Manly aren't going to be in the finals.
Manly aren't going to be there in finals.
But even if they are, like, just fake an injury or whatever, no one has to know about it. Little tweak.
I can see him at the Dogs. I can see him
at the
Gus
Dogs
getting on the blower to him and just going, mate, we're building here. Like, you haven't won a premiership. We're building towards a premiership. No one would disagree with that. You're the final piece of the puzzle. I can see it happening.
And you could get him on probably 600 or something because he's already willing to, like, take unders to go somewhere else because he feels disrespected. Could you imagine if they got him and Tino?
Oh, shit.
Hasn't the Tino chat
quietened down? Oh, man, I reckon. Look, maybe Josh Hannay he's going to bring him back around, but I just reckon Storm. I know I've got no evidence for it. I just reckon Storm.